Hey everybody, how's the weekend? How you doing today? I just wanted to have a quick live with y'all, hang out with y'all this evening. It's a fantastic day. I'm gonna start doing these every weekend if I can, at least once every Saturday and Sunday. Just going live, hanging out with y'all, talking about fragrances. Hope that y'all are all having a fantastic time. I hope that I'm being involved with you. I hope that you care about fragrances and want to be involved with me for the long run. In the past, I didn't do too many lives, and I felt like I've missed a big opportunity to stay involved with you in your fragrance life. I want to build the Centaur fragrance family. I want to be involved with you. I want to know what your fragrances, what you have you been buying, what fragrances do you enjoy. Let me see here. Eugene Baptiste says, "Aye, yeah, how you doing, man? Hello, thank you so much for stopping by." Yeah, so I want to do these lives every weekend. I hope that y'all are excited about that. Let me know if that's something you want to see. Doing a live at least once every weekend, a Saturday or a Sunday. I do one on Instagram as well. So head over to my Instagram after this video. I'm Centaur underscore fragrance there. I do interviews with perfumers. I share lives. There's giveaways. I do posts, I do reviews, I do all kinds of great things over there. So y'all saw the title. I'm about to jump into my thoughts about this fragrance here today, and it's a great fragrance. I was really surprised by it. Really impressed by this fragrance. Um, I I want to see if anybody else is going to stop in today. Eugene Baptiste, how are you doing? What's your scent of the day? I really appreciate you stopping by. If you want to help me out, of course, give me a thumbs up. Anyways, this fragrance is called Rhagba. Now, it's spelled Raghba, and it's from a house called Lattaffa. So I hope that you can see that there. Honestly, it did come with a little cap. The cap broke pretty quickly. It was kind of chintzy, and it came with a little decant travel spray that kind of was atomized, so you could hold it down, kind of like a mini axe can. So that was really surprising as well. I wasn't surprising that, but let's talk about this juice. What is this bottle about? What is this juice? I have a little story to tell y'all about this fragrance as well. And I'll tell you all about my final thoughts at the end, of course, just like a review. I'm kind of doing a live and a review at the same time. This isn't a recording, everybody. The people who are watching, this is live. So feel free to let me know what your scent of the day. How are you doing? What are you wearing? Um, this is a categorized the genre of or classification of this fragrance as a Oriental vanilla. Now, there's a lot more going into this fragrance than just a simple Oriental vanilla. This is often compared to, and certainly does take big inspirations from Oud Bouquet by Lancome. Let me see. There was a comment, and then I'll talk more about this fragrance. Need Kanat says, "Thank you for your review. Just received mine yesterday. Still trying to understand it. Unfortunately, it's not very long lasting on me." Really? Is it? It's not long lasting on you. This one, Rogba. Where did you buy it from? I'm curious if you, maybe if we got the same thing, because I mean, just look at the color of this juice, and this stuff has very crazy longevity on me. Maybe you might be going Nosmic to it. Anyways, it takes a lot of inspiration from Oud Bouquet. This was sent to me not for review, not from the company. It was somebody who actually was a watcher of my channel, who liked my channel, and thought this was such a great fragrance that they wanted me to review it. So this was not sent by the company themselves. Uh, and I was really surprised by this one. My mom actually really wants this one. She's annoyed that I didn't give it to her immediately because she wants this fragrance, and I said I had to review it first. She really loves this one. It's an Oriental vanilla, meaning it has spice and some complexity to a vanilla fragrance. The vanilla in this fragrance, if you're really deep into fragrances, if you really pay attention to it, it is going to have a tiny bit of that Play-Doh like quality. Some vanilla can do that. When a vanilla fragrance does that, to my nose, it adds a little bit more of almost an ambery nuance. Now, this isn't an unpleasant smell. Just if you smell it up close, it's going to have a different a feel, a different almost like texture to it, almost like a very odd or interesting powdery quality to it. Now, um, I said this is similar to Oud Bouquet, and it is, but this is a much more vanilla focused or vanilla heavy, vanilla centric, vanilla focused fragrance. Um, the floral, interesting, dark, almost like complex, heavy floral quality, and that interesting earthy qualities that's in Oud Bouquet are very subdued in this fragrance. It's much more in the background for me. The kind of tame spices, kind of dark spices, and the vanilla. The vanilla is really the big focus of this fragrance. Let me look at the comments real quick. Says I have an oily skin. Maybe that's why the fragrance doesn't last on me. Got mine from Amazon. I wonder who you bought it from. You know, some sell. A lot of people trust Amazon, and a lot of people don't know, especially in the world of fragrance and perfumes, that Amazon is really a reseller's platform. They do have, they do keep people in check. You can look at people's reviews, but Amazon, sometimes you can get fakes from Amazon if you don't buy directly from a reputable seller or the original manufacturer or producer of something. So I don't. Does is it the same color? Because this is quite a dark ambery fluid. It's very rich, um, and this stuff is as amazing performance. This stuff is a commitment in a bottle. It gives me 12, 14, maybe 16 hours or more, and that was with like two sprays. And I have a quick story I'm going to share with y'all real quick. But again, I share this fragrance because for a Western nose, if you're scared of ouds, if you've never liked oud before, and you're especially if you're a lady, or if you're a guy who wants a great gift for a lady, this is the most wearable, perhaps oud that actually you can tell that it has an interesting quality about it on the market for the price and with the performance. This is really the best one that I've come across. Yes, there are some very wearable ouds on the market that really don't have any oud or interesting Arabian or Oriental quality to them at all. You could say that those are easier to wear, but as far as one that actually has a interesting facet or aspect to it, this is probably one of the most wearable one or one of the most wearable ones that I've ever come across. And the most amazing thing, perhaps, of this is the price. It's a $35 fragrance. So I was really impressed by it. If you're a big niche head, if you're really deep into fragrances, if you're very picky, you are going to notice that this is synthetic. It doesn't smell synthetic to me at all, and I'm a picky nose. I really am, but it doesn't smell synthetic. But again, if you're all into naturals and really really high quality niche fragrances, this one is not going to be. You could probably tell that it doesn't have the most natural ingredients. For $30 or $35, you're not going to get a high quality oud attar fragrance. Ouds can cost up to $1,000 for a gram or a couple grams of the best oud attars in the world. So oud is very expensive, worth just as much, if not more, than gold. So this is definitely a mixed medium, probably an accord, kind of a copycat thing that was done or created. Um, let's see here. Slick owner says, "How old are you, bro?" I don't know if I should put my age out there like that, but I'm kind of in my late 20s. Why do you ask? Are you just curious? This is called Rhagba. It's RAG HBA. It's from the house of Lattaffa. Again, this was sent to me by a watcher of my channel, not the company themselves. I didn't agree to anything. There's nothing like that is going on. Somebody from the goodness of their heart paid money, money out of their pocket because they wanted me to share this fragrance. And I actually I didn't have high expectations. I actually had really low expectations for this fragrance when I first got it. I had heard whisperings down the grapevine in the fragrance community about this fragrance. So I actually was kind of excited to get it because it kind of is one of the hidden gem fragrances like Mahari's by Herbalario that I share and talk about a lot. That one's a really like spicy clove fragrance. It's more of like a golden fragrance. It kind of has that apple aspect to it. Um, so I was really actually happy to be able to share this with y'all. My little story. I'll look at the comments and I'm gonna jump into the story and share it with you. Yeah, just curious. No problem. No worries. I'm in my late 20s. A lot of people say I look quite young, especially because I do tend to shave a lot. I don't know if I should shave or not, because it makes me look really young. For New Year's and all that kind of stuff, I got carded again, and it annoys the heck out of me that I get carded when I'm in my late 20s. And I actually joked about it, to the cashier lady, and she was like, "You don't look like you're, you're in your late 20s or whatever." I guess I just look young. Uh, Neek says Lattaffa is the seller. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, Lattaffa is the seller or the company, and the fragrance is called Rhagba. So if you're looking for the fragrance, the fragrance is called Rhagba, and the house is called Lattaffa. Excellent reviews. Maybe I just anosmic to it. If you put your nose up close to this fragrance, with a strong fragrance, especially if it doesn't have the most natural ingredients, you can go nose blind very quick. My dad actually is very heavy into Aventus. He loves Aventus, and it's the same case with some of the ouds I've gotten him to try. He smells them far too up close. He doesn't put it on a card and like waft it in the air. He smells it very close and inhales it, and he goes nose blind. He goes nose blind almost instantly, and then he doesn't think he's wearing a lot of the fragrance, and he might put on 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 sprays of a good batch of Aventus, and I can smell the fragrance pouring out of the room like an avalanche or a tsunami, and he says he can't smell the fragrance. So some fragrances will make you go nose blind, and you got to be careful with this one. If you didn't get an imposter, if you got the real deal juice, real deal fragrance, this stuff gave me 12, 14, 16 hours of performance with 2 sprays. I sprayed it on. I actually was going to bed, and it had been on my skin for like 4 hours, and I sprayed it on my wrist, and I was going to bed. I wrapped up. I put my wrist up to my nose. I wasn't even thinking. I was about to fall asleep, and it started choking me out. I started choking because this fragrance was projecting. It was so strong about 4 hours into the fragrance. So this stuff really projects, and it really lasts. I could kind of smell it on my skin in the morning. It wasn't a dead skin scent even in the morning. So that had been, 14 hours or so. I got ready, I took a shower and everything, and I still could faintly detect it on my hand. It was quite a skin scent. Nobody was really going to notice it except me at that point, but I was impressed. It was crazy. That was like 16 or 18 hours into it. This fragrance is a real commitment in a bottle. And if you really do like vanilla fragrances, if your lady has always wanted a complex oriental vanilla, and you're on a budget, or you want something that's really going to stand up to the cold, my goodness, this is probably a great choice. And again, I know a lot of y'all really like the niche fragrances. I like niche fragrances. I like more complex fragrances. But there's a market for everybody out there. There's a different market, different, price ranges, different wants, different needs. And if you just want performance, if you want to smell like a gorgeous kind of semi-spicy vanilla with complexity to it, again, I do think that this one's a little bit for the ladies, or would make a great gift if you're a guy out there looking for a gift for your lady. I just think that this is a good choice for the 35 or so dollar range, 400 mils. Not the best packaging. I always feel like with these collars that they're going to get loose. The plastic cap, the chintzy cap, just split instantly, and I didn't even try to break it. I was easy on it. But the bottle is quite nice. It's quite interesting. This, in a way, does remind me of Givenchy pie. If you aren't scared of vanilla heavy fragrances, maybe you're a guy that really likes Givenchy pie. Maybe you really like more Metro fragrances. Hey, I'm not judging you. Wear what you love. I always say that, wear what you love, wear what you like. This one, if you like that kind of stuff, Givenchy pie maybe, and you want a lot of performance, this one's great. So I want to look at everybody's comments. I want to see how you're doing. I want to see, how are you doing today? What's your scent of the day? This is the fragrance I wanted to share today. Let me know if this is a good idea. Should I do more live videos? Should I review fragrances live? Or do more video? Should all my videos be live? Do y'all want to see this? Do y'all like this idea? I see 15 people here. I want to see some feedback. Please help me out because I want to make content that you enjoy. I want to create the content that you like. I like indie fragrances. I like sharing those a lot. But honestly, I've been sharing indie, like my review I just did of Devona, a brand new house that nobody knows about, nobody has ever talked about on YouTube. Nobody's ever talked about this house on YouTube before. Devona. I just made that video, and I think it might have a max of like 50 views or something. So if y'all want this kind of content, y'all gotta help me. Gotta help me out because I'm trying to help y'all out. I'm trying to do, a good thing, because that things are based on popularity. People see millions of dollars worth of marketing ads for designer fragrances. Dior Sauvage. I saw an advertisement for Aventus. Aventus doesn't need advertisements. That stuff sells like hotcakes, but they're still advertising it, and it was kind of like a party scene. That kind of changes the image of Aventus for me. To me, Aventus originally was a very refined, maybe a little bit of more of a rebellious gentleman's fragrance. I guess it's more of a party fragrance now. I don't know. I don't know the marketing behind Creed Aventus, and I guess I'm always a kind of critical of the House of Creed. Anyways, what do y'all think about this fragrance? What do you think about my reviews and my content? Says I'm 35. I still get carded. So you and me are in the same boat. We look kind of young. So have you ever smelled Ralph Lauren Romance Silver? I don't know. I think I've tried Romance, but I don't think I've tried the Silver Flanker. And what are your thoughts? I don't think I've tried the silver version. I would imagine that it probably smells pretty nice. Kind of like an interesting twist on maybe a more mass appealing fragrance. The romance fragrances were like more of like 6 hour fragrances. Maybe depending on your skin, 5, maybe 6, maybe 7 hours. They're decent fragrances for the money if you get them on the gray market. I wouldn't imagine that they'd be, any over or anywhere close to 50. They're probably what, 30 dollars, 35 maybe at the most, for some of those fragrances. So I would imagine that's pretty good. You reminded me of Davidoff Silver Shadow. I don't think I've reviewed that fragrance or ever really mentioned it on my channel. But if you're looking for a very interesting wearable silver fragrance, Platinum Egoist almost has that vibe. Silver Shadow by Davidoff is actually one of the best, blast from the past fragrances that I've smelled. That's affordable and good for the money and all that. So if you like that kind of vibe, Platinum Egoist, Niche Platinum by Armoff is great. Silver, I like that vibe, silver fragrances. And y'all know I talked about Silver Sandalwood from the House of Possets, or Pochettes. I'm trying to say it right. I don't know how to say it. Anyways, a great fragrance. Veritas says Lattaffa do another one called Rhagba. It's in a taller square bottle. It's similar to GIT. Confusion when ordering possible in the same name. I haven't tried that one. I have one that's in the more square bottle. It's like a 2.7 ounce. I don't remember the name of it right now. It's supposed to be an interpretation of Black Orchid by Tom Ford, a lot of people say. It's kind of universal. It almost has more of a dry cherry vibe to me. It doesn't last as long. That one's it's a decent and offensive fragrance. It's a little bit more mature, and a little it just doesn't perform as long as something like this. Like this has serious performance, and the one I'll do a review of that one as well. It has a nice presentation. It has fox or fake leather on the outside of the bottle. Uh, Hollywood Silent Film says, I love your live stream reviews. Yeah, let me know. Is that something you like, something you want? Because I can do these more often, or I can start doing these on my channel for the most part. Because, again, I just want to make content that y'all like. I want to do what y'all want me to do, and I can share my fragrance passion in any way y'all like. Because, there's always a learning curve on YouTube. There's or with anything. You got to figure out what people like and what people want. And I think it's tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow I'll really sit down and I'll make a preview for my channel. I used to have my fragrance intro, but I want to make a better one. I want to make something more interesting, some more fun, have a little catchy tune. And maybe I can do that for more of my, bigger videos with a lot more, I guess you would say, production value added in, instead of just raw Benjamin here talking fragrance with you. Let's see here. Hollywood Silent Film says scent of the day is Coco Noir. Very classy, very nice fragrance from Chanel. Nice fragrance. Sama says keep up the good work. Thank you, my friend. I'm doing my very best. I hope that y'all like my content, and I very much appreciate everyone for being here today. You could be anywhere, and I'm not gonna keep y'all too long. I don't think I'm gonna be on here for 2 hours or anything. I've been on here for almost 22 minutes. I might just be on here for maybe an hour, but we'll see. We'll see what we can do. Sama says, "Yeah, keep up." So thank you, and I appreciate you for being here. Slick owner says, my scent of the day is Comme des Garçons Wonderwood. Great fragrance. One that, people used to talk about it quite a lot. I really like Wonder Oud. It's, its brother. But Wonderwood, if you like woody fragrances, if that's your kind of thing, it's a good fragrance, no doubt. And I don't remember exactly the performance on that one, but it was kind of interesting. It seemed like it lingered on closer to the skin for quite a while. Let's see here. Hollywood Spirit Fire TV says, scent of the day is Dua Casino Elixir. Great job as always. Thank you, my friend. I need to try more of those Duas. Again, I tried those Duas, some of their older creations in the past, before all these fusions, before they went to the 30 mLs for $50 to $70, or I think that's about what their bottles go for these days. And I think they were still a pretty new company. So, and I bought about a dozen of their samples, and I'm sure y'all heard in the past some of the problems or controversies with Dua. So I just didn't review them. I gave them to my family, and I want to try some of their newer fragrances. I hear mixed reviews, and maybe I'll buy some samples in the future. Maybe I will. I like Alexandria fragrances as far as clones go. They do a pretty good job for the most part. Some of their fragrances are kind of, wishy-washy, but I haven't encountered many of them that I think are terrible exactly. Some of them just aren't very exciting. And when you take into account that, you're paying, I don't know, even with discounts, you're paying, anywhere from $100 to $150 for 100 mils of their juice, depending on how you buy it and what kind of discounts you get from Alexandria. Sometimes the fragrances are quite good because I like the spin. Like Black Tie Affair is supposed to be a take on Tuxedo, but to me it smells much more similar to an improved version of what is it called? A CH Men Privé, by Carolina Herrera. So, sometimes you get a really good fragrance. I know a lot of people talk about Anubis Kiss and some of the Egyptian King and those different flankers from Alexandria. So, I don't know. I'll try Duo maybe one of these days. maybe they'll want to work with me. They talked with me and they actually asked me if I'd ever reviewed any of their fragrances before, and I told them no, and they have not responded yet. So I assuming they don't want to take a risk on me. At least right now, they don't want to take a big risk because they have people they know that like their fragrances or have purchased from them before, and taking a big risk on me maybe is not what they want to do, because y'all know that I'm more of a critic of fragrances, a reviewer. I don't just overview fragrances. I don't just introduce them. Yes, I like to get samples and maybe work with a company or two. I never get paid a penny, but I'm here to share a fragrance and tell you if it's really good or bad. What's going into the fragrance? Is it what are the nuances? I try to get into the notes and the details. Let me know. Do y'all like that? That's another thing that's really been on my mind. I want to know. Do y'all like me being more in depth with my reviews? Do you like me being in depth, going into the details, or do you just want a overview? Because if you look at the bigger reviewers, man, they're just overviewing fragrances a lot of the time. A lot of the time they're not getting into the opening and the mid and the dry down. They're not talking about the nuances, the different textures of the fragrance. Maybe they don't talk about the tone. Is it like classy or arrogant, or what's the feeling of the fragrance? And I'm not trying to put down on other reviewers. I'm not trying to criticize them. I just trying to figure out what should I do. What's my angle? What's my game? What do people want from me? Because again, I want to create great content for you as the viewer, the watcher on my channel. Let's see here. Mr. Miami Cuddles says, I like Hani Hafez. We had long chats. Good guy. Yeah, Mr. Miami Cuddles, thank you so much for stopping by. You're a great YouTuber as well. I see that you've got a good energy going, a good pep in your step, and your content, and you're doing a lot better. You're creeping up there. I recently have stepped away from the big top 10 videos, and my channel has really slowed down in growth. People want to see top 10s, and I'm not sure if YouTube has a programmed in bias for top 10 videos, or if that's really what people want. I don't know, but some people really dislike my top 10s, and some people, even if I make them creative, even if I try to make them with really good intent, that's about the only way I can grow. But I want to figure out a good happy medium. I want to make people happy. I know that could bring easy success. I was doing that a little while. Jeremy Fragrance, that's one of the big reasons why he grew. I mean, he's charismatic, he's good looking, he brings on ladies on his channel, and he was one of the ones who really started doing the top 10s really heavily, and that's one of the reasons why he really grew. Medicent, I don't know if y'all know about Medicent. He used to be a friend of mine, not so much anymore, but he, in about half of the time I was on, it'd been about a year or so. In about 6 months, he had gotten just as much, subs as me with doing top 10 content, focusing on that. Now he's almost doubled me, and he's produced, half as much content. He's been on YouTube as half as long as me, really. And I'm not taking shots at you, Medi. I appreciate your content and what you do. You probably help a lot of people out, with what they want to know, but that's just not the content I want to make. It's not the content that I'm interested in. I'm interested more in indie, and I want to become a perfumer. So, let's see. Hani Hefes, as far as I've seen, Hanny's been a great guy. He's very friendly. I know that his company is doing very well. If I can be a little bit more bold, if I can, I don't know, I'm not trying to start controversy a little bit, but one of the reasons Jeremy Fragrance made that top 3 rules of fragrances you'll never break, one of the reasons he ever did that video is because he was angry that Alexandra made a clone. I think it's called Boardroom, or maybe it's called Boardwalk. I think it's called Boardroom. And it sold out completely in about an hour. And the fragrance, people say it lasts just as long, or pretty much smells pretty much just as good as Jeremy's fragrance. And you can get about, I think it's 50 mils or so for like $55 or so. You know, there's different discounts at Alexandria fragrances, depending on the time of year. You can get, I think, 20, maybe 25% off. But essentially, you could get 100 mils for about $100, compared to Jeremy Fragrance's 180, and especially, you know, putting a sour taste in a lot of people's mouth, saying that he was going to triple the price, and a lot of people have forgotten about stuff like that. He does stuff all the time, talking about tripling the price, you know, selling it for like $300 or something. Um, you know, he wasn't happy about that, and I think that the American people, at least, I don't know if a lot of other people are this way, but if we can find something cheaper and something better, and you know, we don't have to spend the money, we're probably going to go for the cheaper, better alternative, and we're always looking to innovate, find something better, you know, make something cheaper for a better, or you know, increase the quality for the same price. We like just trying to do things and improve things, and that's one of the reasons with innovation. You know, with our nation, that's one of the things that's really helped us. Um, Medi pays a lot of money to promote. Um, I don't know if he's bought subscribers or bought views. I don't know what he does. There's a couple people that have, you know, surpassed me, far surpassed me, almost doubled me at this point. And I don't want to cause any controversy, maybe by mentioning any of the others. But and I support them and maybe what they're doing, but I just don't like their content, if I can be frank. And it's not something that I'm interested in. And it's not something that's original. I don't know how their videos, like you're saying, maybe they do buy views. But I don't know how you could do so well when you make so many videos that are so repetitive, with the same fragrances, saying the same things, kind of repeating long lasting beast mode, compliment getter, saying that kind of stuff over and over. And then you talk about the same fragrances that a lot of people talk about over and over: Aventus, Bleu de Chanel, Dylan Blue, Dior Sauvage, and you say those kinds of keywords, and maybe YouTube picks up on those, and maybe people are searching for that stuff. But maybe I should review some more of that stuff, and you know, maybe be a little bit more critical of those fragrances. Dylan Blue is a really good compliment getter. If you're just getting into the fragrance game and you like designer fragrances, that one is really nice. But you know, I'm not. I don't like Dior Sauvage at all. But that's my opinion, of course. Let's see here. And thank you so much for being here, Mr. Miami Cuddles. I appreciate your conversations and friendship, man. Joseph says, "Hello, my friend. It's me, Joseph, your fan from Iraq." I appreciate you, man. You're in a whole different world over there in Iraq, but I appreciate you watching me. I always like learning about different cultures and connecting with everybody in the world, and that's a big honor. You know, I'm here down in the South, and I never dreamed of or never would have believed that I made a friend in Iraq. So, thank you so much for befriending me and watching me, and hopefully, I'm a big help to you, Joseph. You're a cool guy. Mr. Miami Cuddle says, "Dude, you had 200 when I had 500." Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if people like my content. I don't know what it is, man. YouTube is a funny world, and you know, some people, they get a million subs or a million views overnight. So I don't know what it takes to be successful on YouTube, and being successful isn't the biggest thing in the world. But I kind of have a hope and a dream that I can make YouTube work for me one way or another. Maybe my fragrance YouTube, the avenue through fragrance isn't the way to go about it, but you know, it's a funny world. Let's see here. If you want something unique, definitely try indie brands. Yeah, very true. So you passed me. Yeah. Uh, I don't. I don't know, man. I was doing top tens for a little while, and maybe I'll do a little bit more of that in the future. It says you would be happy with 1,500. Yeah. Um, I I don't know. A lot of people don't for some reason don't like people talking about success for some reason in YouTube world for some reason, maybe it's just the fragrance world. They don't like you talking about success. Um, I want big success, and I'm going to work towards it. And I don't know if again fragrance is the aspect in the way I'm going to do it, but I am grateful for what I have and what I have earned here on YouTube. But I'm gonna try to be as big and do as much in the world as I can. I am raised in more of a traditional, humble kind of area, where they're happy to just live an average life, use their grandpa's knife, and get by doing kind of, the minimal, just doing the minimal things in life and focusing just on friends and family. I have kind of bigger aspirations than that in my life. I would love to own multiple companies. I have big dreams in different aspects and ways. I'm more of a Renaissance man. I've been very interested, and I've learned and dived into all kinds of different topics, and I'm interested in all kinds of different cultures, and looked into different languages and religions and many different things. And so I'm trying to be humble and share that, but I'm also trying to share about who I am and maybe what I want, because it's just something on my mind and something that I like to talk about, because I don't know. I want to know what y'all want and how I can help you, so I can also, work and grow myself, because I do want to be successful, and I don't think there's anything wrong in the world with wanting success, and trying to grow. YouTube is one of the best opportunities in the world if you can get yourself a following through Instagram or YouTube, and make a career for yourself, make a life for yourself, because I could just live in Mississippi. I could keep doing yard work for the rest of my life. I could keep mowing lawns. I could do odd jobs. I could become a taxidermy. I could maybe become an 18 wheeler, a truck driver. I could do something like that. I mean, or could keep doing stuff like that. But that's not really the life I want. So I'm just putting that out there. I'm always trying to get people's opinions. Mr. Miami Cuddle says, yes, be grateful. That's the point. Okay. I wasn't sure where you're getting at, Mr. Miami Cuddles. I like your content. I like your spark and your own style. And I think you're doing great things. I support you. I know that some of us do get surpassed a lot of the times, and I can only imagine how you feel. There's a lot of upcoming people I think that are going to surpass me pretty soon. Georgia Gent is one of those I think has a lot of potential, and he's going to do that probably pretty soon. And Clements, no doubt, and she got a shout out by one of the biggest fragrance reviewers in the world. That Spanish reviewer, I always forget his name, but he has like over 200,000 subs, and he's a Spanish fragrance reviewer. And he did a big shout out for her, and she's gonna speed past me pretty quick. And the funny thing is, if any of y'all are thinking that maybe I'm greedy or anything like that, I was one of the people who actually convinced Clements on Instagram to start her channel. I knew she had potential, and I knew she was a great lady, and I befriended her, and I convinced her to get on YouTube and start her fragrance journey, because I knew it was something that she loved, and maybe it's going to help her in her life. Who knows what kind of success she's going to have? Maybe she can get a job in the fragrance industry and have a very happy life, or this could create an awesome opportunity for her. But she's going to speed past me pretty quick. I have no doubt that Clements is going to, really get somewhere. I have about 5% power on my phone, so I'm going to have to end this pretty quick. I thought I had some more power. Let's see here the comments, and I'll wrap this up real quick. I'm from NC, North Carolina. So hello, Natalie Knight. Thank you so much for stopping by. Joseph says, I bought Hermes Eau Tres Fresh for my 22-year-old brother based on your reviews and recommendations on it. I haven't opened it yet, so I don't know how it'll smell. Tell me more about the fragrance. Summarizing it very quickly, it's a beautiful orange opening. Terre de Hermes, the original, has more of a gritty, almost earthy vibe in the opening. It's a very fresh, beautiful citrus opening. The fragrance has more of a geranium feel, so more of a green rose feel. It's very fresh. It has a mineral-ish quality to it. The Hermes quality of the florals and citrus are beautiful. In the dry down, it's not going to have a lot of perhaps maybe texture, but there's going to be a mineral quality and a lot of ISOE super. There's a lot of ISOE super. I've always stood by. I think Terre de Hermes Eau Trace Fresh is one of the best designer fragrances maybe ever made, and made very recently in the last couple years. Terre de Hermes is a winner. It's a top seller, no doubt. The Eau Trace Fresh version is very wearable. It's easy to wear all year around. It's a little bit more youthful and a little bit more playful, and it's gorgeous. Hermes fragrances, a lot of them I think just do magic. I love Hermes. So, some people say they really like Chanel or Dior. If I had to cling to one big brand name, like more, I guess you would say designer, I'm probably a Hermes boy or Hermes guy. Anyways, staying humble in one pony town, it's hard when you think big. Yeah, I'm definitely humble, but I definitely have big aspirations, big goals, big dreams. Joseph says it's a gift for him. Yeah, I hope that I think he'll like it, especially if he's a younger man, especially if he's got his first professional job and he wants a good office fragrance. That Terre d'Hermes Eau Trace Fresh is going to be perfect. I think it's a much better fragrance than something like Jeremy Fragrance's Office for Men, no doubt about it.